As a registered dietitian, I have helped hundreds of people reach their weight loss goals. And if I was trying to lose weight this year, this is exactly what I would do. No false promises, just real evidence-based tips that work. If we haven't met before, I'm Maria, and my advice has been featured in top media outlets around the world. And in this video, I'm sharing some of my best tips with you too. Number one, don't look at anyone else. What worked for your sister, your mother, your colleague in work, or celebrity on the internet might not work for you, and that is okay, because there is no perfect way to lose weight. It's all about finding a method that suits your lifestyle, your body, and your preferences. Today, I will share some core principles that you do want to bring in. But remember, the best approach is the one that you can sustain over the long term. Because what good is it to lose weight if you end up just putting it all back on again? So stop looking around you at other people. There is no secret that someone isn't telling you. Number two is that success leaves clues. So on that note, I want you to take some time to reflect on what has and what has not worked for you in the past. For example, if you found success with a low-carb diet, but you were not able to sustain it. Maybe you consider a more modified version that includes more carbs. And it's not just the diet, you need to consider other factors that influenced your past dieting efforts. Was it maybe stress or a lack of sleep that affected your progress? Or were there social or environmental factors that made sticking to your plan just not possible to achieve? So you want to look at what worked and try to do that again. But also pay close attention to what didn't work, because you can learn from that. And if you know what potential barriers or obstacles that you're going to come up against, you can make a plan now to work around them when they do arise. Now I'm going to pause here and ask that if you're enjoying the video so far, I would really appreciate it if you hit the red subscribe button below. And if you're looking for healthy, high protein recipe ideas, I'd recommend following me over on Instagram. Number three is to set goals, but remember the age-old saying that a goal without a plan is only a dream. So setting a goal is just the start. To actually see progress, you need a real plan to back it up. And this means breaking your goal down into small, doable steps that you can tackle every single week. Whether that might be something like meal planning, or getting in your workouts, or getting those 10,000 steps daily. This is what will turn something like a weight loss goal into something that is actually achievable. You need to have a roadmap for where you want to go. Now, I recommend using a 12-week year cycle instead of setting just year-long goals. And this is a concept taken from the book, A 12-Week Year. So instead of having a year-long goal, you break it down into chunks, like Q1, Q2, Q3, etc. And this will give you a clear focus and a sense of urgency, which is often lost when you're thinking about your goals over the course of a whole year. Like, I'm getting married next July, and it's really easy for me to just think, oh, well, that's ages away, I'm not going to really worry about it yet. And in psychology, this is a concept, and it's known as delayed discounting. It's where long-term goals, they feel less urgent and therefore less rewarding. But if you bring the deadline closer, like with a 12-week goal, this helps you stay more motivated and can help you see faster results. Number four is to prioritize protein, because if you are not using protein to your advantage when it comes to lose weight, you are really missing out. Because for decades, we have had debates about whether a low-carb diet or a low-fat diet was better for weight loss. There's so many different diets out there, but one thing that they can all mutually agree on is that protein helps you when you're trying to lose weight. Because number one, high protein diets help you feel fuller when you are trying to restrict your intake. Most of us have heard about the famous weight loss drug Ozempic. Well, one of the ways that that drug works is that it impacts the hunger and fullness signals that your body receives. And protein can interestingly do the same thing. You will feel fuller for longer when you're including more protein in your diet. Now, the next thing that protein can do, which is very interesting, is that it can help you maintain pleasure when dieting. Yes, pleasure. And this is so important because you can't be miserable when you're dieting and expect to stay miserable for as long as it takes for you to lose the weight. You want these changes to feel as easy as possible. And if they're enjoyable, well, that is a very big win. And this is so crucial because these are all changes that you do also want to keep up for life once you have reached the weight loss goal that you have in mind. Protein also helps you preserve your muscle mass. So if you lost 10 kg of weight, it's more likely that more of this 10 kg weight loss has come from fat tissue rather than losing your valuable muscle tissue. We want to hold on to the muscle tissue because that is what helps support our metabolism. And it's important for healthy aging and for general function in day-to-day life. It's also what's going to give you that nice lean toned look. So to be very practical, every time that you sit down for a meal, you want to be first prioritizing protein. It should be a quarter of your plate. And if you want numbers, roughly you're aiming for 20 to 40 grams of protein per meal and around 10 grams of protein per snack. Now, if you want to know more precisely exactly how much protein you should be getting for you, your size and your needs, I have another protein video here which breaks it down, and I have a free protein guide which I will leave linked in the description box below. But 20 to 40 grams per meal is a good rough rule of thumb to follow. Number 5 is fill up on fiber. I'm just going to get straight to the point here, but we can't digest all forms of fiber. And if you're still not following, what I'm trying to politely say on the internet is a lot of that fiber ends up in the toilet. Fiber is also really filling, making you eat less overall. For example, research shows that by adding in 14 grams of fiber daily, people consumed 10% less calories throughout the day. And not only this, but fiber also nourishes your gut microbiome. And the gut microbiome can produce chemicals that help reduce food cravings and regulate your appetite better. Again, something that is extremely helpful when you're trying to lose weight. Number 6 is do not waste time or energy on the 0.005%. And what I mean here is that there are a lot of tips on the internet that require a significant amount of effort, but the gain that you might get from following through with them is just so minimal that it's really not likely going to translate into any bit of a meaningful effect. All of your efforts would be better placed doing something that is more likely to move that needle forward to helping you actually reach your goals. And I'm going to give you 3 examples here. Number 1 is taking cold showers in the morning. Number 2 is eating more spicy food. And number 3 is apple cider vinegar. So yes, if you dive deep into the research on these things, maybe eating spicy foods will help you burn 5 more calories a day. And yes, a freezing cold shower will temporarily increase your metabolism. But let's just be very real and practical here. Are any of these things actually really going to have an impact on your weight loss goals? No. You want to be taking a productive approach to weight loss. Use whatever willpower or motivation that you can foster up and put it towards something that will actually make a significant impact and help you reach your goals quicker. All of these other little things are just frills and bows. It's like trying to build a house. You can't expect to decorate and furnish your house if you haven't built the solid foundations first. Now, the next thing that we can do is to look at volume eating. We want to see more food on the plate because if you are smart, weight loss does not have to be all about cutting things out. Seeing more food on the plate gives us a lot more mental satisfaction. And weight loss is a mental game just as much as it is a physical one. So take your plate or your bowl at every single meal and half of it should be filled with fruit, salad or vegetables. These foods are high in volume yet much lower in calories. Your stomach is essentially a bag and filling it up with these foods is much more effective when it comes to losing weight. And we eat with our eyes too. So if you look down and you see a plate full of food, this will help with satisfaction. You're not going to be looking down and feeling miserable like you're on this horrible restrictive diet. And this is so important because again, we want to be sustaining these changes over the long term. For example, I had a client recently who was struggling with the portion size of rice at dinner. So what we did was we swapped out half of the rice for cauliflower rice. This way he still had his normal rice, but it was bulked out with the cauliflower. And visually it looked the exact same. And he came back to clinic a week later and said he did not even really notice the difference. It's all of these little hacks that can really make the difference and add up. Number 8 is look after your mental health. And this might seem like an unexpected tip, but trust me, it can have a much bigger impact on your weight than you may think. because when you feel more positive and mentally strong, it's way easier to make healthier choices, like making a home-cooked meal or going to the gym. And if you have a healthier relationship with your body and with yourself, you're also less likely to fall into habits like binge eating or yo-yo dieting, where you end up restricting too much and then overeating to compensate. And your mindset plays a huge role in how you treat your body. And at the end of the day, I always like to say that there really is no true health without mental health. You could reach your dream body or your goal weight, but if you are miserable on the inside, it's not going to feel worth it. And true wellness is about finding a balance in both body and in mind. And what I do find is that people who come to see me who are really struggling with their weight, a huge issue is often this yo-yo dieting cycle or this binge eating. And once we focus on improving their relationship with food without even trying to lose weight, weight loss can sometimes happen as a result. And there we have it, 8 tips that I would follow if I was trying to lose weight this year. If you enjoyed this video, I have a whole weight loss series with many other videos for you to check out. But I'd particularly recommend watching this one next. It's all about recognizing the different types of food cravings that we can experience and how to say no to them once and for all. And if you've made it this far in the video, I want to say thank you by letting you know that I have a free recipe ebook, which I have linked in the description box below. Thank you very much for watching. Stay happy and healthy, and I'll see you again next week. Thanks for watching.